And here's another hit, baby Bonds. We out of here, baby.
Okay. I need to flip this camera down, huh?
There you go. Your phone got the COVID-19.
Hey, man, hey. It's really 2020 out here. You would think we'd be able to go a little easier, but
Hey man, it's okay. Hey, we definitely make the adjustment. We're gonna make this happen. That's what we do in the batter's box, right?
sir, yes, sir, we got to be ready to adjust.
Absolutely. So I see everybody's joining. Thank you guys for being patient with us. I see the guests are joining in. We had a little technical difficulties from Coach Harrison's end, but we solved that problem. I just jumped on his live with baseball gurus. That's why we make adjustments. So for everybody that's joining in, I'm Coach E. I have Coach Vince Harrison here. He's the manager of the Kane County Cougars right here in Illinois, Arizona Diamondbacks affiliate. He's got a great story. I'm so blessed and so happy that he's agreed to join the recess and bless everybody with his knowledge. So, Coach Harrison, I know I got some people joining in from mine, jumping on yours. Can you give us the audience who might not know a little bit about your baseball journey, amateur and through professional, and how it landed you to coaching?
Okay. Man, basically I started playing when I was about 7. I was the oldest of the grandkids on my mom's side, and my mom's older brother was in the big leagues with the Orioles. So I actually grew up kind of being around the clubhouse, just being the only grandkid for a minute. Saw him come up with the Orioles, won a series in '83. Watched him blossom in his career. Went over to the Dodgers, '88 World Series. He started center fielder on that, and we basically just kind of fell in love with the game, watching him, and then had a pretty good high school career. Ended up getting drafted by the Marlins, turned that down, but went to Kentucky, University of Kentucky.
SEC.
Yes, sir. You know how we do.
Yes, sir.
Went there on a football scholarship and played baseball, did both for 2 years. And then coming upon the junior year, just a couple football injuries that became nagging. And knowing I was draft eligible again, know I had a better future going with baseball. So, 2001, I got drafted by Tampa in the 13th round. And that was the start of my 10-year career before I finished playing in 2011 and started coaching with the Pirates in 2012.
Okay. So nice. So now, I hear you have so many, stories. I bet you've been around the clubhouse and everything. Can you tell me your most memorable moment around professional baseball?
Ooh, there's a couple of them. I think when you think of pro baseball, man, you have so many like daily encounters. Personally, I think it would have probably been my last game, which happened to be an independent ball. I knew I was on my way out, playing through pain, but my parents actually snuck up and surprised to see me, which I didn't expect. And then my brother Josh was with the Pirates at the time.
Shout out to baby boy Josh. Shout out to him.
Yeah, man. He was with the Pirates, and I was playing right outside of in York, Pennsylvania, which not too far. So he ended up sneaking in, and sure enough, we got rained out. And he was a local celebrity in the state of Pennsylvania, so he ended up having to sign some autographs. And so him and my other brother Sean, we ended up hanging out that night. And the next day, we went out and won it, clinched the Atlantic League, and then I knew I was on my way to retirement. So it was kind of sweet just to have the family show up for my last game and be able to share that experience with them. I mean, that's one for me personally, but, just thinking of being able to tell players they were called up. In 2016, we got to tell a player, I was coaching high A, we got to tell one of our pitchers that he was going straight to the big leagues from high A. And I think
that's unheard of right there, dog.
Dude, it was unexpected. I think the whole night, we were more as coaches, we kind of got giddy. We had to calm ourselves down, waiting on the kid to come back, because we were like, how do we tell this dude you're going to Arizona and not to at the time I think we were in Mobile or Double A. We tell him he going up and like, you're not going to Mobile. You're not going to Reno. You are going to Arizona. And so that was definitely one of just a moment I'll never forget, because he was a pitcher, but we had spent 2015 together in the same team, and we had a good relationship. So at the time I was a hitting coach, but just to be able to experience that with him and kind of know his journey was definitely fun. His name was Zach Curtis.
Zach Curtis, okay. Hold on, I see a couple comments, man. They coming in hot.
Uh-oh.
Huck 2 point, Mrs. Harrison. Uh-oh, she's laughing at you. That's a little jab at you, Teddy Riley. Oh, why you got to go there, Miss Harrison? T. Valentin 18 says, V. Hey, what's good? Coach Smoke Kemp, Mr. Shelby. Seen print, I see you. Jeremy Shelby, everybody's thumbs up. That's right. Wish I was a kid. Hayes the greatest. Oh, yeah. You got a lot of fan base here. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I hear you talking about coaching, and we kind of, the world is 6 degrees, of separation, and so is baseball. So a little backstory. Alek Thomas got drafted to the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. I don't know if he joined in or not, but he'll probably see it once we put this on YouTube. I coached him at 14, and approximately probably 5 years later, Coach Harrison coached him at 19. So can you talk to me a little bit about the Diamondbacks prospect, Alek Thomas, hailing from Chicago, Illinois?
Man, I mean, where do you want me to start? I mean, Alek Thomas is an outstanding human being to start off with. But you talk about being humble, being super talented, being well-liked in the clubhouse by everybody. I mean, he was the youngest guy on our team for most of the year. He was referred to as little bro in the clubhouse because he was just a little guy. But the dude he's ultra talented, super humble. But a couple of things that stood out about him were, one, I think he started out last year something like 1 for 25. But his demeanor never changed. It was like, I'm like watching this kid hit balls hard, take good swings, watch people pitching backwards, stuff I know he didn't see in high school.
Right.
And here he is a year later doing it. And I mean, we were up in Iowa, different parts of the country, guys were racing to get next to the kerosene heater. And this dude's just kind of just going about his business. Didn't see him get too high. Didn't see him get low ever. I just watched him just go about his business every day like he knew he belonged. And then, I did a thing with my players last year where I coordinated with my clubby. I'm like, if it's a guy's birthday, we kind of coordinated ahead. And we always hope for a W, because I'm like, we get this W, I'm going to call a fake post-game meeting, and we're going to hand out cakes, for the birthday. And you know what? I think we looked up, and Alek's birthday is the end of April. We've been playing about a month, and I said, I've watched this kid start off slow but never change. And, we gave him a cake, and I'm like, dude, this kid just turned like 19. And it was like, wow, this dude's going to be okay. And, the irony is, looking at where we are now, I can remember this weekend specifically last year, we were in Peoria, Illinois on the 2nd and 3rd, and our big league gym was in town. And Alek proceeded to go, I think, 12 for 13 in 2 games. One game he went 5 for 5 with the cycle. And then the next day he was like 5 for 6. I mean, not one ball, not on the barrel. I think his out was like a line drive in the gap. So it was like, and that's when I think I just started hugging him every day, because I felt like it was going to be time for me to get ready to say goodbye. And just even, I think, he ended up getting moved up about a month later. But just to speak about the person he is, like, I went to tell him that he was going up, and I actually did it in front of the team just because I said he was well respected and the guys liked him. And when I told, we had a little post-game celebration, and I said, hey, fella, I think I said, hey, bus tomorrow is at 3 o'clock, but Alek Thomas will not be on it. He's on a plane headed west, and the team erupted, and it was super cool. And he came in the office afterwards, hugged it up, and he just said, man, thank you for everything. I respect you guys, and I appreciate y'all. And it's like, that dude, that was one thing that stood out to me more than this play, was just how he handled the whole thing. Even the Futures game. I told him he was going to the Futures game, and he had to to wait a couple days to tell people, and his response was, oh, "Okay, thanks for telling me." So I'm like, kid's
Absolutely.
humble, man. You know him. You had him.
Yeah. And, and,
It just made it easy to coach.
and coach, the crazy thing is, like, in everything you just said, that's times 1,000, right? The highlight story, I got two stories about AT. You know, he came from another organization, Naperville. Dad brought him over and trusted me with him and everything. And like his first game, I hit him like fifth and everything because we had a loaded roster, right? I hit him fifth, like, hey, I want you to drive me some runs. And he said, Coach, how can I get in the first three orders? I said, you got to go seven for at least 10. He went like 9 for 10 at 14. I said, oh my God. And the second story is we're in like fall training, workouts and everything. We're in the batting cage and everything. It's somewhere in Evergreen Park, you know, south side of Chicago. He's taking batting practice, hits a ball through the net that goes through the roof at Evergreen Park. I know Coach Smoke is on here. He was there. And me and Coach Smoke looked at each other like, this kid is unreal, but his demeanor, attitude is nothing but great things. We could go on and on about AT, but I gotta switch it up. So with us talking about AT coming out of high school and everything, I've been noticing the draft has a lot of college guys, right? So what's the biggest difference between high-level college baseball to going to the minors and then the minors going to the pros?
I think you see, at the lower levels, you see a lot of development. You see a lot of tools that, and the tools are there. You see a lot of guys with like, man, this dude's going to be special. The lower levels, there's so much learning to do. For instance, while we were talking about Alek, you can look back to, a year, 2 years ago, he was in high school. Last year, he's playing on the pro team, and, we're traveling every 3 or 4 days. Stay in a different hotel. It's a different grind. So you got to get used to the daily schedule of, being at the park for a long time. We're getting there. Guys are getting there at 1, 2 o'clock to do their treatment. And if they, they might have to lift. And then, and that's all prior to just taking batting practice and just getting everything started. And then you actually play the game and you play hard and you grind through that. And then you have dinner and shower. And before you head home, it's 11, 12 o'clock, and you do it again. So, in the lower levels, it's just a definite, adjustment for guys because it's something they've never done, let alone doing it for 140 games when they're probably used to playing, south of 100 games, if that, and that's a lot. So that's what you see. And then you see guys, get older, kind of getting that routine, understand how their body works, understand what they need to get themselves prepared. And then, once you see that start to happen and, they take care of their business on the field, it's almost like just, watching a kid ride a bike. You just watch them just slowly take off, and then you just root for them. And like a proud dad, you just be there in case they fall to help pick them up. But usually, it's guys going through these things, and that's part of their process. But when they start to figure it out, it's fun to just sit back and watch them and, just know that maybe you helped them a little bit along the way.
Absolutely. So with minor leagues, I don't know if everyone's aware, the minor leagues are canceled for this year for MLB due to COVID-19, budget restraints and, unforeseen things. So I know you have a great relationship with your players and players from other organizations. What are they doing to stay sharp, and how does this cancellation affect the future of minor league baseball?
So I know we in the organization, we are, they're doing a good job of the strength teams reaching out, the medical teams reaching out. And, as coaches, we're all reaching out to specific players just so we can kind of break up the groups instead of having, each coach has got a handful of guys and you just kind of keep them up to date with, making sure they're staying on top of their training. Unfortunately, like just recently, they did cancel the season. So everything until then was just, hey, stay ready. Hopefully the big leagues get something together, and then maybe we'll be after. But I think, now it's probably tougher for the guys just to know, because there's no kind of end in sight. We don't know. But the best thing we can do is just keep these guys encouraged. And like I said, our strength team and the medical staff, they've done a great job of keeping these guys engaged and, staying on top of communicating with these guys. And, I think for the players and the coaches alone, sometimes it's just knowing that people are still thinking about you. We didn't forget about you. We're staying on top of things, and just to have these daily conversations about baseball and just making sure guys are on top of it I think that's been cool. I know personally, not playing is definitely a lot different than playing, but just having these conversations with players and kind of knowing what they're doing and, what's going on and how families are doing is helped kind of get that fixed. We can't be at the field, but we can have these conversations and see how everybody's doing. And, I've had guys ask, anything specific we should be doing. So I just think the communication of keep handling your business. And, at the end of the day, it's really just treating it like an off season when, with the season being canceled. I think we all expect to play next year.
Yep.
The future is unknown, but I think the way I'm going about it, and I think most guys are doing the same thing, is, now that it's canceled, we're just going to treat this like a long off season and stay on top of things and just be ready to go whenever we get called.
Okay. So, we're going to speak to the elephant in the room, because this is the recess. And it's about raw and organic information, and it's about urban baseball. So, you're a football guy, you're a two-sport athlete, high-level two-sport athlete. So how can we attract the better black athletes to the game of baseball, right? And I'm not talking about, I don't want to hear, hey, if we do this, this can happen. Like, what are some ideas that you have or heard about that we can literally do to attract more black athletes to the game of baseball? And because, I don't want to be long-winded, because you and I both know that the minor leagues, the college, the high school, that baseball is a grind for a black athlete. And basketball and football is instant gratification. But we all know that one kid, we say, man, this guy's 6'4", 225. If he would have took baseball serious, he might have got picked up in the first 10 rounds. But on the other hand, his mom is like, hey, this big university is telling me I don't have to pay a dime. Baseball doesn't fund full scholarships. You got to get 80% scholarships. And then I got to sign for this, only make, $1,000 a month in the minor leagues? So how can we attract the high-level black athlete to the game of baseball?
I think, you kind of hit on it right there. The first thing I think that we really need to stress is the student athlete part of it. I would, like you said, I was fortunate, playing football, big money maker, where I didn't have to pay for anything. But I think I was also in a position where academically I was strong and I could have, I had my opportunities there. So I think it starts with that, we definitely need to be educated and keep the books a steady thing, because that's something we can control, right? So we want to do that. And then when you talk about just exposing them to the game, I think people in position to be able to take them to see a minor league game, to see, guys that have gone through it, and what you said about football and basketball, I don't think there's two houses in my neighborhood that don't have a basketball court. I think it's real easy to do that. With football, you can go out and run around, and, there's more players and more opportunities for football to say, I got a chance at college. But I think, the end game should never just be to get to college or just to get to the next level. That's something I've always believed. That's something I've always taught. I even working with high schoolers in the off season, and I will tell them, I'm challenging you not to be a good high school player. I'm not challenging you to be good enough to make your high school team just to get to college, because I think if you ask everybody who plays baseball, what's the end goal, end game, and it's going to be, I would love to be in pro baseball, get a chance to play big leagues. So, you factor that in with be strong athletically, be strong academically, and then people like us who have the opportunity to present this game to them and help them understand it and get them in contact with people who know what it's like and go through that grind. That's huge. Like I mentioned before, I think I was just always into the sport, but looking back, I grew up watching my uncle in the big leagues, and that's what I knew. And that's what I wanted to do, even though I ended up going a different route with football and everything. I can't figure that out. I don't think we have to try to figure it out so early, but, just we can look at this year's draft, and I know you're talking about the African American, but just for instance, you look at a guy, Spencer Torkelson, who just went first overall. I mean, there's a kid who wasn't even drafted out of high school. So he went from not being drafted to being the first pick overall. So, I mean, even though that might not look like somebody that says I can be that dude, I mean, that guy did it, and it happens. I mean, you guys had Ed Howard come out of there. I mean, I'm sure you probably had your hands on him at some point.
Yep.
But I think it's just being able to expose guys to the game and not be just so caught up in just playing just to be good, just to realize that baseball is a grind. It's a game of failure. We have to learn that. That's one of the things they learn at the minor leagues, at the lower levels, especially the high school kids who come out of using a metal bat, hitting 500-600. Now you're using a wood bat, facing grown men who throw harder, and it's a difference. It's a difference. So I think you just got to keep exposing people to it and help them understand what it really is. And, like you do, I think what you do is great. You get them young and you teach them the game and you teach them the right way. And then before you know it, you have enough examples like the two guys you got out of Chicago. I mean, your guys right there can look at people that came right through your talented, and I don't think either one of them is a very big dude. So it's not like like you mentioned, you don't have to be 6'4", 225. You just got to love the game, understand it, keep working, and just keep doing your thing, man.
Man, absolutely. Coach, you dropped some true gems. Now, listen, I got to give you just a couple directives because we have to switch it up. Now,
Okay.
Once we end the call, make sure you do not delete the video, right? You got to post it to your IG Live series, okay? And then
You got to teach me how to do that.
Huh?
You got to teach me how to do that.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna walk you through it right now. Like once we end it,
Okay.
we'll both hit X, that little X mark, and then it's going to say end now. You're gonna say yes, and then it's gonna say post to your IG series. You're gonna say yes and post it, and you can just name it whatever. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and then put it on YouTube, share it with you, and then we can share it out for anybody who didn't see it live.
Okay.
So just
Yes,
don't
sir.
hit delete, right?
All right.
So I know Coach Smoke. Oh, he gave us a smiley face. Colin Bray, you a goat, B-Hay.
Hey, Colin Bray, man. Colin Bray was our center fielder in Kane County in 15.
Okay.
That dude could go get a ball. Hey, switch hitter, run like a gazelle. Hey, he was nice.
Okay.
He was nice.
Okay. So, Coach Harrison, I know I'm looking at the clock and everything. I don't want IG to kick us off. So I got to wrap this up. So for the viewers who watch, thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, I'm coming to you again live and direct, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with another episode of The Recess. So now, make sure, Coach Harrison, we had some technical difficulties, so we have to go on Coach Harrison's live. So make sure you share it and save it to your IG live series. As soon as you end it, it'll give you an option to do that. Make sure you don't delete it, okay? So, Coach Harrison, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, can you supply an email address for them or, your IG tagline or anything? Because with a lot of kids, I'm sorry, I got a little excited. With a lot of kids that's going to watch this, they might want to pick your brain. Or you might have a football and baseball guy that's stuck in between that might need to hear, your story. Can you provide information for them?
Yeah, my this IG right here, VA513. That's pretty simple. And then my email, VA513@gmail. So I go with the VA513. The 513 is Cincinnati area code. I try to represent the home now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got my boy Fernando Cortez reaching out all the way from San Diego. He know what it is. 513, baby.
Fernando, thank you for tuning in to The Recess. Watching VA representing the 513.
Yeah. So VA513 right here on the IG, and then VA513 at Gmail.
Okay. So make sure you save it. Do not delete it on your stuff so we can get this out to reach more kids. And like I said, This is Coach E. This was The Recess. It's about urban baseball, getting to you raw and organic. Coach Harrison, thank you so much for passing those jewels, those nuggets, that knowledge. Make sure you guys tune in next week to another episode of The Recess. It's Coach E. We signing off.
We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.